Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our football podcast. You can't see the forest for the teas. And you definitely can't see the forest today, because he's not here. So in his place, we've got Stuart to come over and fill the boots of Mr. Panas. So here we go. This is Cookiecast. You can't see the forest for the teas. Then I shall begin.
Are we sitting comfortably, children? Then we'll begin.
I am not. But I am now.
Everyone's always sitting comfortably. Care for these at any point?
Right, just hit.
Well, I did the intro last time, so it can't be me. I'm specifically talking about last time.
Last time.
Because I think I was trying to get James to do it, and he was having on a bit.
It's because he's a very grumpy person.
He's a grumpy Gus.
Doesn't sound like James at all.
Still talking about the same James, yeah?
We'll do the stories live and in charge. Not stories. Stories. Or we could do the scores live and in charge.
I was going to say stories. Story time.
Freaking Norma.
Sorry.
Work.
It's because you
plus,
started with you sitting comfortably.
Yeah, work plus baby brain equals...
No brain.
Honestly don't know.
No time
what's
left for
happening
Andy
right
brain.
now. No Andy brain. I don't even know what the intro to this is. Welcome.
Just make one up. Make one up.
Kick us off.
If it's Paul, it usually begins with "Welcome along to the show that sometimes ends."
It never ends.
I'm sure you just said, Stu, get your knickers off there, and I don't know why.
Go on,
Now
like
who's
this.
got big? Well, if you want to kill your viewers. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome
Get
along
your knickers off.
to the oddly James Panas-less edition of.
And you know what?
We're better for it, what,
You
eh?
can't see the forest at all because he's not here. The
Yeah.
teas.
Wow.
And he's not even given us the decency
He gave us the finger, that's
of a
what he
phone
gave us.
call in. He's literally not even dialed it
He's
in.
not even phoned it in.
What a piece
Get him
of
on the phone
shit.
now.
Alright, mate, how's it going?
Get him on the phone quick.
Should I just ring him and be like, talk now, bitch?
Talk.
It's odd the way that it's fallen though, with it being a week that I happened to be here, and last time was the week that he wasn't here, so I've now technically filled in for both of them.
True.
Clever. This week in
Racism.
usually
Sorry, Andy. But it happened again, didn't it? There was some more.
I mean
Evil.
come on people.
It's not good.
I don't believe that our listeners are racist.
Well, I'd like to think not.
We do have a lot of American listeners.
I
I'm not saying that means anything. I'm just pointing out. Just trying to get that in that we have a lot of American listeners. Like, holy shit, American. The Americans love the podcast. I don't know what else to tell you.
That's cool.
And the Polish.
Polska.
Your ratings will go up, obviously, when we talk about Hull for the Grzycki link.
Austria, they're big fans. Yeah, I mean, you know, what can I say? Americans love us. What's happened this week in football? Out.
Racist.
Well, obviously, it's football.
Are we talking specifics? Because it was particularly Man City, wasn't it? So Manchester derby this week.
Was.
Expecting a massive win for the Blues. My two Manchester United supporting friends will be very happy that didn't happen.
But will they though?
Well,
This is my problem.
Does not matter that they've essentially handed the title to Liverpool, because at the end of the day, it's
going to happen anyway, I suppose.
Well, not when they play their 14 games in 2 days or whatever they keep moaning about. But yeah, there was an incident where somebody was making monkey gestures towards two or three of the...
That wasn't good.
Is it
Man
me,
United
or
players.
does it just feel at this point in time that it's not I think this has come up before, but does it not feel like this isn't actual racism? This is attention seeking.
I'd agree with that.
I don't think this is actual genuine racism. I think it's, well, let's have a laugh. Let's get a bit of, TV coverage or something.
Their stupidity for me just absolutely comes to the fore, though, and with pun intended, as in monkey see, monkey do. They've seen people do it before. They think it's hilarious. How's your lifetime ban suiting you? Because they picked the guy up pretty quickly.
Exactly.
Man City had released a statement, I think possibly before the end of the game, because it started circulating online pretty quickly, and the news within I think an hour and a half of the game was that they'd picked up a 40-something-year-old man. Which 40-something-year-old? What are you doing?
Just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, what's going through your head at that point where you're thinking, "Oh, I know what's an acceptable thing to do. I'll just do this." I mean, just idiotic. But,
combined with the fact that the guy's an idiot for doing it, but he's on camera supporting, and use that word loosely, his own club. Has there ever been a stronger definition of shitting on your own doorstep?
Yeah, exactly. Just bizarre, isn't it?
But anyway, yeah. So that was what I remember from the news, and that's an unfortunate one. Has much else gone on? Had some managerial debuts, have we?
I'm trying to think, really. Did anyone else?
Chelsea squeaked through to the
Chelsea.
16,
So we're currently recording as there's Champions League games ongoing. But Chelsea are through. I saw that Ajax didn't even get out of the group this year. Well, that's probably what happens when you sell half your team. There was a sacking. Ancelotti. So Napoli qualify for the knockout stage of the Champions League. He then gets the bullet.
It's got to be some sort of record for the fact it was a 4-0 home win, and still.
So apparently, there's talk he's going to be on the list of candidates for the Everton and Arsenal job.
I'd say probably more likely Arsenal.
Potentially, but I mean, would you want to take either at this particular time?
The amount that Everton have just absolutely spaffed on everything, it wouldn't shock me him going there as well. So, I suppose Liverpool as well got through.
Yeah, Liverpool are through. Yeah, can't really think of much else.
Obviously, there was a huge week of action in the Championship, which we'll get to.
Oh, we will. Don't you worry. We'll get there.
But news-wise, it's a bit sparse, I think.
Slow. It normally does slow down a bit when you get to Christmas, and then obviously it ramps back up because the fixtures get a bit hectic. But did we work out or cover last week that Liverpool will be flying out to the Club World Championship after this weekend's games?
Touched on it briefly from when I was listening back to it. But it's
because have they been compensated with having the early game this Saturday? So they've got more time to fly. I'll have a look, do we?
Have they been you mean, have Sky got the additional rights to the early game?
Well, it's BT, isn't it? BT get the early game on the Saturdays. So I don't know if it'd be a case of they've said to them...
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, so Liverpool have got the early game on Saturday, and then obviously they must fly out for...
Where is it this time? Is it in China?
I don't know.
World Club Championship.
FIFA Club World Cup playoffs. Quarter-final 1. Khalifa, so that was what? Dubai? Because I think the Burj Khalifa is in Dubai. Or Abu Dhabi. It's one or the other. Now, who's racist? Definitely me, apparently.
I'm not claiming I'm racist, I'm just claiming that my geography is terrible.
Yeah, so Liverpool's first game is a week today at 5:30 UK time in the Khalifa International Stadium against opponent yet to be determined.
How does that work?
Well, so apparently, on the Tuesday...
They got a bye or something in the first round.
They must have done.
Oh, what a shock.
So, on the Tuesday of the Tuesday at 2:30, it's quarter-final... I'm really confused. I don't understand this. This is so bizarre.
Has it been rigged so that they just get a better game? Is that what you're trying to
I honestly don't know. Because so far, there's only two teams that are absolutely guaranteed in it, by the looks of it. It's Flamengo and Liverpool. And then it's
surely
teams.
Surely there's got to be other people in there.
You know what? I'll Wikipedia it, because we know that's an absolutely legitimate source.
Fully accurate and not edited in any way by just people who...
Listen, everyone knows the best thing that ever happened on Wikipedia was if you typed in Colin Wanker, it would take you immediately to Neil Warnock's Facebook. To Neil Warnock's page.
So it is accurate then?
Yes. Yes, as it is. Right, let's have a look. 2019 FIFA Club World Cup. Presented by Alibaba Cloud for sponsorship reasons, will be the 16th edition of the FIFA Club World Cup. On the 5th of November 2018, the Liverpool chief executive Peter Moore assured that the Qatari authorities have permitted LGBT football fans to attend the Club World Cup Championships in December 2019. That's quite good to know. Right. So, here are... okay. So, entering in the first round is... Are you ready for this? We're all massive fans of these.
I'm waiting for you to go.
So, it's Al Sadd, right, the Asian FC host.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, as in they're the host. So, Al Sadd is the Qatari?
So, do they get... Is it like the actual World Cup where if it's been hosted by them, they get a free pass?
I'd imagine so. So, Al Sadd is a Qatari sports club based in the Al Sadd district of the city of Doha. Right. So, Al Sadd will play high-end sport. Lads, you're looking at me blank there. It's almost as if you don't know the team I've just said.
Well, that's because...
It's almost as if you don't know that they're a New Caledonian football team from High-Engine who play in the New Caledonian Super League.
See, Caledonian to me means Scottish.
Scotland. You're absolutely correct, Stuart. So, they must play against each other, and that is the first round. Then, the second round is between Al Hilal, who are a Saudi Arabian team, Esperance de Tunis, Tunisian team, and Monterrey.
Jack.
No.
Yes.
But delicious cheese.
Absolutely delicious. Super Bowl cheese.
And they are Mexican. So they are the CONCACAF entrant into the competition.
What I'm getting from this so far is it's World Club Championship.
Basically...
World Cup Club Championship.
It's clearly the winners of all the federations tournaments. So the UEFA Champions League winner is the European representative. The Asian Champions League or the African Champions League, whatever the equivalents are. So it's the Copa Libertadores winner that goes in from South America, and so on and so forth.
But on the back of that, there was a point probably 3 or 4 minutes ago where I just really didn't give a toss about that tournament, and now it's ever so slightly less than that.
Basically. So there you go. So basically, the winner of High-End Sport and Al Sadd will then play either Al Hilal, Esperance de Tunis, or Monterrey.
Do they have a triple threat match?
Oh God, can you imagine?
Multi-ball.
What they do is they're playing it on a triangular pitch. And
how do you ring in the middle?
How do you take a corner?
In the middle. There is no corner. It's continuous play. So I'm assuming that 2 of those 3 teams have already been drawn in one of the quarterfinals,
right,
or whatever it's classed as, and then the other team plays the winner of that first game, and then The other two teams that are in the semi-finals is Flamengo, because they were the 2019 Copa Libertadores winners, which is weird because there's already been another Copa Libertadores that's already been won. So the next year for this Club World Championship or whatever it is,
they'll know who it is already.
The representative from South America has already been chosen. It's so weird. It's the way that all the seasons that are all out of sequence is so weird. So Flamengo will play the winner of the second round game, and Liverpool will play the winner of the second round game. And then, what basically the tournament hosts are hoping is that Flamengo win their semi-final, Liverpool win their semi-final, and then they just play each other.
It does sound very much like the Premier League at this time, in the sense of it's pretty much geared up for Liverpool's to lose.
Well, I don't personally know how good or bad Flamengo are, to be honest with you.
I'd say, have you ever heard of them before? But knowing you, the answer
Flamengo,
would be yes.
they're a big enough Brazilian side. They've won stuff before. I was going to say the ones that play in black and red stripes.
Looks a bit like the Rangers badge.
Bloody, that's awful.
It's true, though.
It
definitely does.
They play in the Maracanã, apparently. So must be pretty big.
There's me and Andy just looking at each other like, speaking foreign language again.
Yes. So there we go. I would say that's this week.
You might as well have told me and him that they played maracas at that point, didn't they?
That's what I heard. I was like,
sorry, did someone say something about racist?
No. Because of the flamingo dance.
If that is this week in football done, that brings us swiftly on to talking about some scores.
So you want to do a last week in football?
Last week in football.
Oh my God, James is going to be absolutely devastated that he's not here.
He is going to be absolutely devastated he's not here because he has picked an absolute blinder this week.
It can be a 2-part series, like Perspective 1, Perspective 2.
Get on the phone quick.
Do you know what? It just dawned on me that's what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be texting him, asking him for his picks.
Text him, tell him your shit house. What time did you get? Text him with what time did you get home? I bet his answer was 9 o'clock.
I'm still at work.
But he's still at work now.
Probably.
Can you finish the text with, by the way, I called in when I was poorly?
But it wasn't even that was poorly. It was just the fact that I knew that if I came here,
you would die.
I probably would expire.
Wasn't that also the week that Middlesbrough just got panned as well?
No, that was last week.
Right, okay.
And the week before.
Actually, no, you're wrong, Andrew.
Well,
because the week before we actually drew with some shit team from East Yorkshire. Actually, so
well, I've looked at the scores and seen something that we've not seen for a very long time.
Do we need to start on a wet Friday night? Technically in Nottingham for some people, but not for the football team.
We do need to start on a wet Friday night in Nottingham. We can all talk about a wet Friday night in Nottingham if you like. Don't ever drive to Nottingham. Ever. As a person who's driven to Nottingham within the last 24 hours, you're a lunatic. Do drive to Nottingham. It's a lovely place. It absolutely is not. I liked Nottingham. It was nice. Nottingham, shout out. Did you drive into the city centre? Yes, we did. Did you have an altercation with a quote-unquote police officer? No, we did not. There you go then. Whilst podcast people were in the great city of Nottingham that definitely has no suspect police officers anywhere, we pushed out the team known as Nottingham Forest, and they went all the way to Millwall. They went to see Desmond, unfortunately. Oh dear. I was getting live updates by my counterpart, who was getting live texts on the scores. Did he just basically keep turning to you and just go, Andy, phone's just buzzed in my pocket? Yeah. It's what he always says when we went to the Leeds game, he just turns to me and was like, phone's just buzzed again. Yeah.
I don't take it out.
Yeah, just go down phone first. Then
Or the phone.
I'd be like, and then he just tapped me and be like. So I watched each text. I don't say I watched each goal, but each text come through. Millwall 2, Nottingham Forest 2. The second Millwall goal came right at the very end. A little unfortunate for the Forest boys. What was unfortunate
+2.
What was unfortunate is that this is the week where there was a game that featured Nottingham Forest where I was like, do you know what? Grab and brace. Unfortunately, this wasn't the game. I'm gutted. Because he was like, I was like, oh, I picked Graham. Yeah. And then later, he's like, was this the game I picked the brace? He's like, I honestly can't remember. I'm like, neither can I. I need to go home and look. I didn't. And I've looked now, and it wasn't. Because of the fact that it was 2-2, we've got Williams and O'Brien. O'Brien, because it wasn't spelled that way. Spelled with an E. Graham did score 2 goals.
He did indeed.
No scores.
So no one got anything?
For the scores.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because everybody was like, Forest have got this one in the bag.
Got to be points for Panas if Grabman scored. Surely.
However, not only did James Panas pick Lewis, Mr. Williams, you also had a little slice, and Mr. Cook also had a slice. So it's 1 point apiece for first game of the week. And that was Friday night.
Just wait until you hear what Panas picked for the next game.
So, Middlesbrough.
We travelled to a wet, dreary Riverside Stadium on Teesside on Saturday afternoon at
where
3
you
p.m.
were joined by
Charlton Athletic.
Charlton Athletic.
In a bit of free fall at the minute, old Charlton. Not doing well. So I was confident on this one.
You were not the only person who was confident on this one. Everybody in the room, which is an unusual thing to say these days, but everybody in the room did fancy Middlesbrough for a win. Some more than others, Mr. Williams. Some less than others. The score, if you please.
Middlesbrough 1. Charlton Athletic 0.
So, what that does for the scores for yourself, you got 1 point.
Did I say 2-0?
Did.
Son of a...
Mr. Panas, he correctly predicted the score and got 2 points.
Well done, James.
Well done, James. Well done. Mr. Cook, he also correctly predicted the score. 2 little points. 2 little points. Just there. Do you want to just tell me who scored that goal?
Jimmy. As James branded him.
Jimmy?
George Saville managed to score.
George Saville did score that. And who thought that Fletcher was going to score? Oh, it was me and you.
Oh, it was absolutely me, yeah.
Some strange person we've never heard of. George Saville was picked by a one James P. Panas.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
To take 3 points for the week.
That must have been a tedious game because I've just seen that goal was scored in the first minute.
Correct.
Borough love putting one in a net within the first 5 minutes.
Poor old Annette.
Go back and look at the games where Middlesbrough have scored and how many of those were in the first few minutes of the game.
Won't take you long to go through them though, will it, this season? So
I was trying to avoid that. We do have one other game to discuss. The reason that it's in fact Wednesday today, at the time of recording it is Wednesday. One of the reasons for that is that our host and co-host took a little trip down the motorway.
We did. We decided to get in the car and take ourselves off to the City ground.
City.
For Nottingham Forest versus the Borough, with tickets supplied very nicely by our colleague. What a guy. little shout out to Lewis Mawson. Lovely stuff, Lewis. Well played. Good lad. So yeah, we took ourselves off to the game, and it absolutely pissed it down. Absolutely. It's been a long time since I've been that sopping wet.
So, I was sat last night, and at one point I'm like, is the living room window about to go through? Like, I'm sure it was hail at one point, and it was a proper, like, freaking normal what's going on right now. That was the point I went, there's the football.
So, it absolutely pissed it down. We got parked up, got to the ground, tried to get the tickets, but they hadn't been delivered yet because we had to pick them up from the ticket office at the stadium. Got to the ticket office and the woman was, oh, sorry, they haven't been delivered yet. They normally come in with the supporters coaches. I was like, right, okay. So we were like, right, well, we'll go get something to eat. We'll go have a drink and we'll come back a bit closer to kick-off. So I went and found the local pub or whatever that was near the stadium. They had the Forest promotion season video playing in the pub. VHS.
Beautiful.
So we had a cheeky little pint. Then maybe another one.
A wanky or not?
James had a we had a lager to start off with just to get us in the mood, and then James had a pint of Forest Pale.
Oh.
I had a Diet Coke. Although to be fair, definitely wasn't Diet Coke. It was obviously Diet Roller Cola.
You should have been having a grapefruit and goji berry session IPA of some kind.
Saison, yeah, something like that. Yeah. A nice winterberry spiced. Yeah. It would have been good.
We're into the dark annals of winter. It should be stouts and porters.
It absolutely should be. To be fair, it should be if anything, it could be a spiced porter.
Oh, jeez.
Really. Or a Scotch bonnet chili porter. That'd really fire you up from inside.
Probably fire out of you again.
Yeah, basically. So
we digress.
So went on a drink, killed a bit of time, went back, went to the ticket office, boom, the supporters coaches turned up, tickets were there, lovely.
Boom.
Went in, took our position, stood, we were immediately asked to sit down because we were in front of the disabled section for the Nottingham Forest home fans for some reason. Because there must be like an enclosed behind glass section for certain disabled supporters. Okay. So we couldn't stand in front of that bit because they couldn't see past us. So it was like, right, that's fair enough, we'll sit down. Okay. Watched the first half. Nothing much happened. Forest hit the bar in the first half. Borough had a couple of chances on the counter-attack, but nothing much of note. Oh, did Forest hit the bar? No, they didn't hit the bar in the first half. They hit the bar in the second half because it was away from us. So Graben missed an absolute sitter, but he was flagged offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. Forest were definitely the better team in the first half. Had Borough on the back foot. They were getting a lot of joy down the wings. Matty Cash still, proving that he's a right back, yet thinks like a forward at times, and was just up and down the right wing all night. So yeah, managed to hold out for half time at 0-0. Went in, got some liquid refreshment. Obviously, those two were absolutely freezing, so went for the beefy drink.
A Bovril?
Yes, they did. I also joined them in the Bovril train. So little Bovril, little warmy, little toasty, deliciousy. Came back out for the second half, moved section. So we weren't in front of the disabled supporters anymore, so this time we could stand up. So we stood up for the second half. Borough came out with a bit more fight, a bit more emphasis in the second half. Took the game to Forest a little bit more, and we're on the front foot for maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. Forest then scored, and some of the away supporters, they were very restless. They weren't happy.
No.
Shouting the odds, not content, and etc. etc. And then Woodgate made a few changes. Brought on Marvin Johnson, which is his first game since his absolutely ridiculous red card against Hull. And give him his due, he actually changed the game because he made the run into the penalty box when he was tripped, and he drew the penalty from which Borough scored and got the equaliser. So
That is true.
Game finished 1-1.
Did finish 1-1.
All in all, probably a point was probably a fair result. If I'm being honest, Forest had more of the chances, but
The blurb from Sky Sports was, Nottingham Forest were left to rue their lack of killer instinct as Middlesbrough somehow escaped the City ground with a 1-1 draw. That is scathing, isn't it? On both parts.
big time.
You're both shit, is what that says. The goal scorers in that game were...
Don't know his first name, but Yates
Yates is what I've got here.
and Paddy McNair
Paddy
slammed home the penalty.
McNair.
He also broke my duck, which had stemmed for possibly 2 full seasons of going to a game live and not seeing Borough score.
Yes. I did. I was like... Because that's one of the things I was saying to Panas. I was like... So, I mean, he was at a game where they scored.
Yep. Seriously, when in the time it took them to like set up for the penalty, I was literally like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Did you watch the penalty?
Oh, yeah.
Are you one of them that watches?
I'm not one who has to look away.
In all my years of going to Hull with Rich, he's never watched the penny. He
Why?
always turns around. He just never
Superstitious.
I don't know. Like for
Maybe
me,
a little
it's like
stitious.
for me, it's like Yorkshireman. You pay for it, so might as well watch it.
Excellent. Wow.
Do you know what that did to the scores?
Absolutely bugger all.
Yeah, do you know why that is?
Because no one had Yates,
No one had Yates.
no one had McNair,
No one had McNair.
no one had a draw.
And nobody got the scores. So that's what we eating for tea, boys.
Oh, bagels for tea.
Loads of bagels. So, what we ended up with is, Mr. Williams, you had 1 point from one of the games and 1 point from another game and a 0 to finish you off. 2 points. Mr. Cook took 1 point from one game, 2 points from another game and another 0, finishing with a 3. And although he's not here, 1 point from the first game, 3 points from the second game, and a big fat bagel to finishing up with 4 to win the week.
Well done, James. Up for that makes you feel a little bit better.
Maybe
From your poorly sick bed.
Maybe you could turn up next time to receive your award. Money says he's still at work.
Does that Andrew move us on to this coming week?
Just like time travel, Paul, it projects us 1 week into the future.
So weird.
And we have another Friday night game. Because he's in the room, we'll give him a goal.
Aren't we generous? Aren't we
Stuart
that generous?
Woodmansey's team, the Hull Boys,
The Hull Boys.
take on
The City
Middlesbrough's
Boys.
sloppy seconds.
Has it's been all season?
Middlesbrough sloppy seconds.
We've played teams in very close succession. As in, just to back that up further, we
escalated quickly.
We play Forest in a couple of weeks on Boxing Day. So there's not that much time in between that one either.
Really?
I'm going to stick with the hope that Paul has given me by pointing out that Charlton are in free fall, allegedly. So we'll see how we go.
I mean, they got beat by Middlesbrough, so I'm thinking Hull 4-0 on this one.
Quick question. Was the game last night the first time that Jared Bowen's ever not scored?
Well, he has this knack, doesn't he? It's like every time he gets linked with Leeds, and then obviously we played in Leeds last night. It's that's the other thing. You guys played Leeds recently, then we've got them as well. So that's another one in You're
just running that game, man.
The scheduling computer obviously thought, we'll just can't be bothered.
Shut your goddamn mouth. I don't know if they try and do it by, like, region. So it just, like, generates it and, like, pushes it one to the left or something. I don't know.
From the way that game turned out last night, you literally did half as well as we did, didn't you?
No, you did half as well.
No, you did half as well. Because we lost by 2.
Well,
you lost by 4.
But how do you work it? Is it not glass half empty?
All right, let's rephrase that correctly.
You did half better. You did
Middlesbrough
twice
was doubly as bad as Hull.
There we go. That's probably worse. It's probably a more accurate way of putting it.
2 times the charm.
So we've had a decent run of form as late. It's apart from getting beat 2-0. It wasn't as bad as it sounds. The first one was an own goal, unfortunately. But 0-0 at half time against a team that we were expecting to get smashed by, so it could have been much worse. Am I kicking off? Is that
rules of the podcast would denote that you would be last.
Yeah.
At this point in time, I've got 4 names on this piece of paper, and only 3 of us are here.
I'm still going to try and get this name. I'm going to try and get this off Paris. He has given me 2 picks for the other 2 games, but I think he's forgotten that Hull are playing.
So it's either me or you.
I'll have first crack at this one.
Have first dibs.
I will go Hull 3, Charlton 0.
Wow.
And do you know what? Has he ever got one? I'm going to go for a Bowen, apparently. Bowen hat-trick.
You crazy.
You crazy, motherfucker, you crazy.
You see, it's interesting, because that sounds very much like 2 for the Hull.
1 for the Charlton. The Addicts.
Nope.
2.
2-0.
Excuse me.
Owen. Brace.
You boys are far too optimistic for my liking.
You're going to go for a simple 1-0 win.
A single goal.
I am going for a singular goal. And I'm not going for Bowen. The points should denote I probably should just to keep things tight, but no, I'm going to go for Grzycki, my other... He's about due one. He hasn't scored for a couple of games.
Thank God for that. I thought you were going to say Tom Eves and I was going to have to slap you upside the face there.
I would have picked... I think I've picked Eves before on this podcast.
You have?
Yeah. And you'll never do it again because you've now hopefully seen him and hopefully see that he is fucking wank.
Well, I think we mentioned last time as well about my affinity for his accent.
He is horrendous.
He's got a lovely header a few weeks ago.
I was just about to say, hasn't he had a goal?
He's had 2, I think.
Don't fucking care. What I saw against Bury was fucking shit.
On the note of you've recently been to Leeds, I'm sorry to bring this back a little step, but I just need to mention, for it to be recorded somewhere, and the fact is one of your former players, how much of an absolute shithouse is Patrick Bamford?
In what regard?
In the fact that he
throws himself to the ground.
He likes to play the hard man and then cries like a tiny child.
Yeah.
His whole game plan against us was to try and get somebody sent off last night, and he nearly just got himself knocked the fuck out. Arsehole.
What a Billy. I'm going to leave a little blank space there for Mr. Thomas if he ever gets...
Is it a case of, if he doesn't get his prediction in, he just gets 0-0? Or does he not get a prediction at all?
There's a good chance that might happen.
I don't know, because that's one where you could guarantee it'll be 0-0. And you get 2 points out of it.
You can't do that because I'm in the room. He'd give me a goal.
Oh, that is true.
So
put him down for at least one to Hull.
1 apiece.
And obviously you pick Boyd.
Yeah, because he would. He absolutely would.
Are we basically just going to piece together his result based
for
on
all
previous
of the games?
knowledge?
Let's do it.
If between us we come up with his exact prediction, do we get extra points as well?
Yeah.
We get 1 apiece.
We've got Inception on the podcast now. It's incredible.
The next game of the week
What do we
have
think
here
James thinks that we think James would think?
is James's team
The Forest?
going up against one of James's least favourite teams,
They're not playing Derby this week.
the Wednesday boys.
No, he likes Wednesday.
Thought he hated them.
And I think he quite likes Wednesday because he hates United. Because he hates United. So he wants Wednesday to do better than United to rub it in.
Okay.
I'd assume that was correct. I don't know.
Let's go with that then.
Tough game. Tough game. I've got a score in mind.
For your pick?
for my pick.
Who was it then?
Desmond.
Really? Interesting.
I saw enough last night where they'll score, but Wednesday, tough team.
That would be three draws on the spin.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So, some goal scorers. Good Raban.
Well, obviously Yates. He's in a hot, rich vein of form. But don't write that down.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, don't know where he plays. I don't know if I'm assuming he's a central midfielder,
I've
but
never
I
heard
couldn't
of him,
tell
so
you.
I was like,
I think he played centre midfield last night, but let's be honest, I wasn't paying attention. I was more paying attention to the
Bovril.
The Bovril, absolutely.
We had a Bovril report. We didn't have a pie report.
That is true.
I honestly thought we were going down the pie route.
Absolutely forgot to tell you. Yeah, I didn't even. I'm so sorry, listeners, viewers. Meat and potato. James Panas.
Meat and potato.
Meat and potato.
Where's the Mediterranean?
Lewis Mawson. Chicken Bolty.
Oh, good man. Great choice.
When I was in the queue with Panas, it was just like, are you getting a pie? I was like, yeah, I'll get one. It was like, well, if you do, don't make it one of that chicken Bolty shit. Not according to this man.
That was always my pie of choice at the KC.
What were the like? I mean, we're in podcast gold now, ladies and gentlemen. But what is the pie tradesman for Hull?
They have the last time I went, there was a choice of two.
Two branded pies.
Two different brands because
what is this mentalism?
You could buy like your bog standard
Okay.
football stadium, like
in-house
usual,
pie.
yeah, just cheap shit. But we also in the far off land of Hull have Hull Pie.
Hull Pie.
It is an actual company. They do very nice things.
Is it apostrophe ULL?
No.
Space PIE?
No, it's actually spelled correctly.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So, but yeah,
these savages.
But they were.
Do you know what? I think if I was going to start up a business, I'd drop the H. I'd call it Hull whatever I've got.
Not for a podcast time, but I have some good business names I can tell you that we have locally. Hull Pie are probably more for the the upper echelons of the pie connoisseur, shall we say? And they will even throw in such things as beef and red wine because they like that.
Wow, how very, very pretentious.
A very, very West Stand of us is the.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I shall.
Oh my god! It's right. Not connected with any game in particular, but one time that I went to the Riverside, on the walk up past the cinema, we walked past a van that was selling the Pie Mo.
Oh, this sounds like it's got incredible amounts of calories to it.
So, I shit you not, it is literally what it says on the tin. So it is a chicken breast in breadcrumbs, covered with bechamel sauce,
in a pie. Beautiful.
I mean,
as a 30-year vegetarian, even I'd be tempted to. Don't mind if I do.
So yeah, the Pie Mo.
So sorry, I sidetracked us now, but
I need some.
I was giving you some scorers, wasn't I? Do you know what? Sammy Amiobi kind of got me round to his way of thinking last night. He's a strangely decent footballer. He was tearing our right back to pieces last
Paul
night.
And what have you
I
done
don't
with
know.
him?
It's weird. I've obviously been body snatched at last night's game, and I've come back as a different person. So sit me down for Amiobi.
I have. No flies on me, kid.
Do they have anyone who used to play for Wednesday in their squad? Do you know what? Lolly's due. So stick me down for Joe Lolly.
I mean, not one but 2 Wednesdays.
Fletcher's on a bit of a roll, so I'll go for Stephen Fletcher. And Adam Reach.
Do we all reach around, eh? Nice.
Adam Reach around.
I mean, have you got James's?
Yes, I actually do.
Okay. Let's just do them in order then.
So he has gone 2-zip
to the Forest.
To Forest.
Yeah.
You'll be absolutely shocked to hear that one of his goal scorers is Graben.
Got to get them 60 goals.
And his second goal scorer is also Lolly.
Really? Okay. Me next. Breaking Out Old Faithful. 2-1.
The Old Faithful.
Yep. Graben and Cash to score for the Forest. I'm going to steal one of yours on this one. I'm also giving it a little reach around. Stuart.
As he's not in the room...
Don't have to give him a goal.
I'm not giving him a goal.
Don't do it.
I'm going to say...
Give him the finger instead.
I'm going to say 1-0 to Wednesday.
Lovely.
And Fletcher is on a roll because he's had 3 in the last 2 games already as of time of recording. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dare I pick anybody else? But then, has he absolutely just blown his load on the last 2 games? Oh man, I want to say Barry Bannon, but it's just because I like his name.
Barry Bannon.
Bruce Banner, what?
Yeah. Sorry, he probably won't. I don't know the last time he did, but let's go Bannon for Wednesday.
Okay. And our final game, although I can't say I checked into next week, but I'm going to go for the final game for this point in time. Swansea versus Middlesbrough.
Tough sledding.
Do you have James Panis's score for this game?
0-0.
Wow. I'll be having all those goal scorers off you then. I mean, how good are Swansea?
Swansea are... I was literally just having a look at the table. I think they're in the playoffs.
Playoffs?
No, they are not. They are 11th.
Yeah.
They are very much literally middle of the road.
Do we know anybody that plays for them?
Andre, are you?
I'll do.
Oh, okay.
Are you? Cool. I've literally spelled it. Are you? Stuart Woodmansey.
Man, I'm really sorry to have to come on this podcast and pick against both teams, but it is happening. It is happening. I'm going to go 1-0 again, but for the Swans, and I am just scrambling for a goal scorer for you.
Whilst you do that, I'm going to predict something, and it's going to sound a little bit like this. This is the kind of game where Middlesbrough shit house their way to a win. So, 3-1 Middlesbrough. It's going to be a goal scorer.
This is what you're picking?
No, this is what you're going to pick in a minute.
Oh, sorry, I was getting really confused.
It's going to be somebody who used to play for Middlesbrough scoring the Swansea goal, and then it's going to be...
Well, that's a good point, actually. I don't know if they've got anyone who used to play for us in their squad.
Britta Sombolonga.
It absolutely won't be.
I got injured, eh?
Yeah, man.
I'm going to go Byers.
Sorry, what?
Byers for Swansea.
Byers what?
Byers
a pie?
pie.
I would quite like a pie, actually.
Byers a pie. Not a pie.
I'll take a cheeky pie.
Especially if it's
Only if it's a Baltic.
Oh, they do.
Mediterranean.
They do have an ex-Borough
There
player
we
in the
go.
squad.
Come on then.
Um,
Say it with me. This is the sort of game.
This is the sort of game that Borough
Get
will
back.
absolutely lose.
Yes.
They will absolutely lose by 2-0.
Rich.
One of the goals will be scored by Andre Ayew. The other will be scored by Bersant Salina.
Right then. Let's talk about the big money. Money.
Money, 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 money.
Money. We have 3 lots of... Well, we don't. we have some predictions for some games. Looks like James is going to miss out on all that lovely.
Well, he just gets a double. He doesn't get his treble. That's the thing.
Text him quick and say TikTok.
TikTok, bitch.
Choo choo, bitches. What? Well, Stu's
remind me to tell you something off camera about a podcast I was listening to the other day. Competitions. Skybet Challenge.
I mean, it's not much.
I don't know much,
but I know I love you.
For 2-1-0, man's not going to be...
Right, we'll do Stu's first. So, Charlton Hull, you have gone for 0-1.
Yeah.
17-2.
So I've gone 3.
You've gone 3. 3-1-0.
Nothing if not consistent, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing if not consistent.
Which way was your 0-1 for... Or which way was your 1-0 for Forest Wednesday?
Wednesday.
To Wednesday.
Yeah.
15-2.
And then Swansea 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Is it still going to be under triple figures for a
7-1. So you had Hull 1-0 at 17-2, Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 at 15-2, Swansea 1-0 at 7-1. Gives Stu a treble of 645 to 1.
Wow. It's probably the Hull game that's boosting those, I would have thought.
Yes. Andrew.
0-2.
For which game?
Charlton versus...
Do as your Swansea Borough one first, because I'm on that and I'll work backwards.
1-0.
To
Swansea.
7-1.
2-1 to the Forest.
9-1.
And 0-2 to Hull.
11-1.
Giving me the grandest of totals.
A treble of 959 to 1.
I will enjoy spending that on crack and hookers.
Oh my. So I went for Charlton 0, Hull 3.
You did indeed.
22 to 1. This is going to be big.
Tasty.
Is not something she's ever said. Nottingham Forest Wednesday, I went 2s each, didn't I?
2 apiece. So
14 to 1.
Right.
And then Swansea Borough, 2-0 Swansea. 17 to 2.
1,500.
Yeah, keep guessing. My treble is 3,276.5 to 1.
That's the point where Jared's namesake Jim pops up and goes, and if it's there, I'll give you the money myself.
Oh, if he's up there.
That's completely the wrong game, which I've just realised the reference, but you know.
That was Les Dennis. Leslie Dennis.
Sounded just like him as well.
Charlton Hull. He
Nothing.
didn't pick anything. Forest Wednesday. A 2-0.
No.
A 2-0 for a Forest. A 2-0. 11 to 1.
And then
For that, it just do happen. And then you got 0-0 Swansea Borough.
Yes.
It's probably evens, isn't it?
11 to 1. Yeah, we'll just stick James with his double of 143 to 1.
1-4-3.
And that, Andrew, as they say in the show business, is that.
In the business of show, that would be that.
The big show.
Now then,
Does Stu adopt the position of James?
that is the question. How is this going to work? Do you want to forego?
Shall we just skip the quiz this week?
Well, that is a thing.
Do you know what, fans? We'll just have a week off.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or if you want, I'll just grill you two with questions.
Do you remember?
At what minute of the game last night did James and Lewis first utter the phrase
Cold.
correct?
Minute 3.
Can I take the...
Take the over on it.
I'm taking the under on that before even kick off.
Yeah. When they got the car.
So technically, as we stepped foot into the pub, Lewis was like, "Oh, I'm so wet, I'm so cold." So technically, Stu was correct. But at several points during the second half, he was just moaning, "Oh, my shoes are so wet. My coat's so wet. And I looked down at his shoes, and he had those... I can't think how to describe them other than...
Plimsolls.
No,
Deck
they
shoes.
weren't even plimsolls. They were like the... Do you know those shoes that look like running shoes, but that sort of spray out towards the base?
Yeah.
He had them on, and they just looked thin as anything. And he probably only had one pair of socks on, whereas I had my walking boots on. Do you know why? 'Cause I'm not a fucking mentalist.
Honestly.
You can't qualify that after you've just picked us to win 3-0 away. You absolutely are.
Just you wait until Jared Bowen's got 2, and it's the 85th minute, and
you're like, that'll be it.
and he's lining up a penalty or a free kick or something. And I'm just there, just like going, "Ooh, easy, big fella." Sorry, easy, small fella.
Down, boy.
So no quiz.
No quiz. I mean,
It's alright. It saves you getting a beating that you're obviously going to
obviously, that's why I'm running scared. That's why I've said no quiz. So there you go.
A new challenger enters the arena.
Indeed. So there you go, folks. Another one in the bag.
So every single one of you that tuned in for the quiz this week.
Really sorry. If you beat me, though, I mean, technically what you could do is you could answer one quiz question.
Get it right.
Boom, and you've beaten me in this week's quiz. So have a think.
Comment below for you watchers at home, or send us an email with your scores on.
Up the borough. Up the Tigers.
Not think that's the way you were going with that one.
Up the borough, up the Tigers.
And down with the Forest.
Down with the Forest. Down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness. That's
down with James's sickness. Down with James's sickness. There you go.
Where did you get the sickness? That's the question.
I think I probably gave it to him. You.
Along with
what a way to finish.
And on that note, yes.
What a way to finish is also what James said.
Oh my good God in heaven.
Thank you, mate. So there you go, what do you think to that? Another one done, another one in the bag, another week gone. Sorry about there being no quiz, but we didn't think it was fair to James to just knock out a quiz, and so he lost the opportunity to win another one. YouTube watchers, make sure YouTube subscribers, like, share, comment, all the good stuff. Everybody jump over to the cookiecast.com, check us out over there, and send us some love. So until next week, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then. Bye.